Hello, thank you for purchasing the Master fairing seat bumper setup. If you just did the fairing, then the information for mounting will be here as well. This is the instructional video. So we have the Begode Master here on the new universal stand, which is available at carpads.com. My opinion, this is the best stand ever. Super strong, it just will not come off, and then it is universal for any other wheel. You can adjust it for size. So the Master fairing and upper bumper seat is two separate entities, actually three. You have the seat, the bumper, and the fairing system. The pads are sold separately. So for mounting on the fairing, I'm not going to do a complete mounting video, but this will give you an idea. You will find that on the inside there is double stick. Some people like to do Velcro. I prefer the double stick. So you just peel off the double stick. You make sure your batteries are clean, and they usually come with the plastic. You got to peel that plastic off. Make sure everything's clean, wipe down. The double stick works really, really well. It is super strong. And you basically want to pull it tight and get it perfectly against the top of the battery and the sides, and make sure you get it all the way pushed in. So you're going to flare it out, push it in, and wrap it, and basically want to pull each side and wrap it so you get in as much as possible, so that surface is at the bottom of the battery and you got good adhesion from this side and that side onto the battery. And so once you have the fairings, you're good to go. And then for just the fairing, if you didn't buy the upper part, there will be a bumper that has adhesion on either side here, and you just peel the adhesive and stick it right on, and you're good to go. You will have the fairing, you'll have the protection and the mounting area for the pad, and you will have the kickstand derived from the front bumper itself. Now if you bought the full system, or you also bought the additional seat and front bumper, then it's a little bit trickier to get the install. We have designed, you'll get through screws or through bolts that are longer and go through the new bumper and through the original padded bumper or the padded seat. That happens in this area and this area. That's the hardest part about the installation. And then also you will get screws that will screw these two together. There's a hole that's printed in this area, and the screws that will go 1, 2, 3 on each side here, that will also screw the bumper to here to give you more support for any kind of hit this needs to take. So it'll be utilizing this for support as well. Be careful, only use the screws that we provide, or if you want to use your own screw, just don't use any longer screw. The worst thing in the world would be to use a screw that's longer than what we have. It could potentially poke the battery, and then you got a much larger problem. But the screws that we use are far, far clear from any area of the battery. So I recommend also, as your mount, do the bumper first. I would get the supplied adhesive that we gave you in a small roll. I would, at the very least, get adhesive at the bottom of this, so you have adhesion between here and the fairing, and at the front face of this between here and the fairing. If you want to go further, you can put it in the middle area if you like. I don't believe it's necessary, but if you want the strongest, then that's what you want to do. And the same thing with the back. Definitely get adhesive here and here from seat to fairing, and you can also put some adhesion up here. So when you install this, like I said, the hardest part is getting these screws through both entities into the screw hole. Begode did not give us a lead, it's just a flat threaded hole. So the best way to do it is to lean this on its back as best you can, and you'll be able to see the tip of the screw in above here. Come on in here. You will be able to see the tip of the screw poke through here, and it'll be easy to get that started. Now, it was a hassle. I thought about maybe putting bullet nose on the screws, but then that might have cross threading that occurs, and I don't want that. So assume that take your time getting these screws in. Once they're in, it is really, really strong. And then you're going to want to screw it in and push it back as far as you can on the adhesive. And then you have a position that you can push your seat against. You'll get the screws. And again, now that you have this, you can lean it forward. So let's go to the other side. Come over here. Then you can lean it forward onto the kickstand and you'll be able to see the points of the screws going in here as well. And then once you get those screws in, adhesion on, and then these last two screws right here, these will go right in here holding these two together, and once you're done, you will find that this whole assembly is extremely strong. The complete assembly is strong enough to lift the wheel, a good chance. You know, it won't, I don't think it will survive like a 40-50 mile an hour crash unless you're lucky, but for most crashes I think it's going to add a huge amount of protection. And if you'll notice, come on in here, this seat is actually fits right here at the 2-inch high handle point, and it perfectly matches, so you never have the handle all the way down, but this is a 2-inch lift, makes it very, very comfortable to ride seated. And that's about it. Hope you enjoy the product. We worked really hard designing this. As you can see, it's a huge amount of printing, but it turned out we did really thin. We did thin wall and thin infill on all of this stuff to keep it as light as possible for the 3D printed product. And then we have hard points here for the kickstand. Hope you enjoy the product, and thanks for watching.